Welcome to Quick History Facts, where we explore the fascinating people and events that have shaped our world. This is Mademoiselle Louise de la Valliere. She was born August 6, 1644. Following her father's death, La Valliere's mother married Jacques de Courteval. He was the Marquis of Saint-Remy and butler of the exiled Duke of Orleans, the uncle of Louis XIV. She served as a lady's companion to the Duke's three younger daughters. After the death of the Duke of Orleans, his widow Marguerite moved with her daughters to the Luxembourg Palace in Paris and took the then 16-year-old La Valliere with them. Through the influence of a distant relative, she was named maid of honor to Henrietta, the new Duchess of Orleans, wife of Louis XIV's brother. A close relationship soon formed between the king and Henrietta, which concerned the Queen Dowager. In order to counter rumors, they allegedly decided that he should court other women as a front, and three young ladies were selected, including La Valliere. During her first pregnancy in 1663, she was removed from the service of the Duchess of Orleans and sent to live in the Palais Royal. Then, on December 19, 1663, she gave birth to a son, Charles. He was taken immediately and secretly, and entrusted to the care of two faithful servants. Despite the attempts to make the transfer as secret as possible, the story quickly spread through Paris. The public scorn at the midnight mass on Christmas Eve was so great that La Valliere had to escape from the church. After the death of his mother in 1666, Louis XIV started to publicly display his affair, which greatly displeased La Valliere. Within a week of the Dowager Queen's death, she had to appear at Mass next to the Queen. Ashamed, she treated the Queen, Maria Theresa, with humility and respect. Around the time of the death of the Queen Dowager, the Marquise of Montespan returned to the service of the Duchess of Orleans. Now a lady-in-waiting, she quickly established herself as the reigning beauty of the court. She sought to be the king's new mistress. In May of 1667, before going on a military campaign to Flanders, the king legitimized La Valliere and his only living child together. Their three eldest children had already died by this time. On the same day, he gave her the titles of Duchess of La Valliere and Duchess of Vorges. As a duchess, La Valliere now had the right to sit in the presence of the queen, which was a highly prized privilege. However, La Valliere was not impressed, saying that the title resembled a present given to a servant when he retired. Affirming this, Louis commented that legitimizing their daughter and the gifts to La Valliere, quote, matched the affection he had for her, for 6 years. When the king left for the campaign, La Valliere, again pregnant, was ordered to stay at the court. Worrying for the king and maybe feeling jealous, she traveled to the battlefield without permission and threw herself at his feet, sobbing uncontrollably. Infuriated, Louis forced her to return home immediately. Madame de Montespan was the first to denounce her for the scandal. The king made La Valliere share an apartment with Montespan at the Tuileries Palace. Hoping to win back the heart of the king, La Valliere accepted all the humiliations inflicted upon her by the new situation. Montespan demanded that she assist her with the toilet, and the king would often demand the two rivals travel in the carriage of the queen together. Her tactic was unsuccessful. The king did not return to her, nor did he end his other affairs. In 1669, when their relationship had long since ended, their last living son was legitimized. Around the same time, at the end of March 1669, Madame de Montespan gave birth to her first child by the king, a daughter. La Valliere served as the newborn daughter's godmother, who was named Louise Francoise after her. She decided to leave the court and enter the Carmelite convent in the Faubourg Saint-Jacques part of Paris. Even though the Carmelites followed very strict rules, La Valliere rejected the option of being placed in a more relaxed order. She first attempted to leave in 1671. Without the king's permission, fleeing to a convent. Montespan wanted La Valliere to return, so that her own affair with the king could remain hidden. All of the attempts at dissuading her were in vain, and in 1674, La Valliere was finally permitted to enter the Carmelite convent in the Faubourg Saint-Jacques. The day she left the court, she threw herself at the feet of the Queen, begging forgiveness, saying that, "My crimes were public. My repentance must be public too." 1 year later, on June 3, 1675, La Valliere took her perpetual vows under the name Louise of Mercy, and accepted the black veil from the Queen herself, who kissed and blessed her. Sister Louise of Mercy died on June 6, 1710, at the age of 65, after 36 years of religious life. She was buried in the cemetery of her convent. Her titles and possessions were inherited by her only surviving child, Marianne, by then known as the Princess Dowager of Conti. If you like this type of content, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our coming videos. Thank you for watching.